I'm Amelia Morris, Chief Communications Officer for the City of Des Moines. Welcome to City Talk. It's August, and Des Moines residents have received the latest edition of the City Source newsletter in their mailboxes. Just a reminder to keep it handy. It has information and tips for recycling, news on city road and project construction, and information on two big upcoming events, the Iowa State Fair and the Hy-Vee Triathlon. Today on City Talk, we'll go behind the scenes and take a look at the Traffic and Transportation Division. These are the creative minds that have provided us with smart cards for parking, wayfinding signs, and a whole lot more. Traffic engineer Gary Fox will be here with the latest. And pack your bags and get ready to hit the friendly skies. Des Moines International Airport has some new services and a new airport authority. Kevin Foley, Deputy Director of Landside Operations, will join us to talk about the latest developments at the airport. We have some real news that you can use, so stay tuned. City Talk will be right back after these messages.
Visit Des Moines, we have it all.
Welcome back. The City of Des Moines Traffic and Transportation Division is not an area you hear a lot about in the news, but their work impacts our daily lives in a number of ways. T&T, as we call them, are responsible for a long list of services. The most visible are street lighting, traffic signs and signals, and even the skywalk system. They also issue a variety of license and permits. My guest today is Gary Fox, City Engineer. Welcome to City Talk.
Thanks, Amelia. I'm glad to be here today to talk about some of the things that we do.
Oh, and you do have a lot of things that you do. Let's start talking first about the responsibilities of the department. You have a lot of things under your umbrella. Can you just briefly tell us what it is you are responsible for?
Sure. And as you indicated, some of the most visible ones are the things out on the street, the street lights, the traffic signs and signals and pavement markings. And then as we get into the skywalk system, well, and parking is another one, the parking meters downtown, some off-street parking and parking lots, as well as the city's municipal parking system with the parking garages in the downtown area. We also do we do traffic studies to help determine the appropriate level of traffic control, apply for funding from safety and other funds to help implement some of the improvements that are needed. We've got right-of-way management where we issue permits and regulate who can work in our street right-of-way, and then we have a variety of other permits that we issue. That's not everything we do, but those are some of the main areas.
I know there is a lot. In the last few years, the Traffic and Transportation Division has implemented a number of new technologies. Just a few weeks ago, the Hawk pedestrian signal, did I say that right? Hawk pedestrian signal was installed. Tell our audience about that.
Well, just real briefly, Hawk it's not with the Iowa Hawkeyes. We're not really promoting any particular team here, but it's an acronym that stands for High Intensity Activated Crosswalk. Okay. So it's highly visible. It uses some flashing signals to help draw the driver's attention, and it's basically a pedestrian signal similar to what we've had. The difference is instead of having a green signal, when it's resting and the traffic goes through, the signal heads are dark. Mm-hmm. When a pedestrian comes and pushes the pedestrian button mm-hmm. to cross, it starts flashing yellow first. Okay. Then it goes to a solid yellow, which means it's getting ready to change to red. Then it goes to red for the traffic, and then the pedestrian gets a walk signal just like they would at other places. There's a countdown on the pedestrian signal. There's a countdown timer indicating how much time they have left.
Oh, good.
And then for the motorist, the big difference, at a typical signal, you have to wait at the red light for the entire cycle to finish. Oftentimes the pedestrian has crossed the street and is well out of the way. This one, after a short time, goes to flashing red. There's two red heads on the top, or red signals. They flash back and forth. Then you can proceed across the crosswalk after you've stopped, as long as you're not conflicting with the pedestrian. You still have to yield to a pedestrian if they're in your way. So we think it will reduce the delay to the motorist, and then it's more visible in the high-intensity part.
Are these are not part of the traffic lights that we see? This is a separate signal that is just for pedestrians.
Right. The location we have is on Grand Avenue at Polk Boulevard, and so it for all intents and purposes, appears to be a regular pedestrian traffic signal, but the operation of it is what distinguishes it as a hawk signal.
So as motorists, we get a warning, kind of a flashing yellow telling you prepare to stop, then a red telling you to stop.
Correct.
And then when they're clear, instead of me waiting, I can go ahead and proceed when it's safe.
Yes. You have to stop first. It's like flashing red over a stop sign. You stop, and then when it's clear, you can go. And so we just turned it. In fact, it's been installed by a contractor, so it's been there for a little while. But yesterday we just turned it on and had a successful installation. People are using it.
Wonderful. You have so many wonderful new technologies. We have smart cards, which I really love now for parking because I'm no longer digging for change. Tell us about the smart card.
Well, the smart card is kind of a specialized card with a chip built into it that you can insert into the meter. We've got about 4,000 parking meters downtown, and approximately half of them now have been upgraded that has the smart card slot. It looks like a credit or debit card. It's a little bit different. It's not a magnetic stripe or swipe card, but there's a chip built into it. You purchase money, and it has value stored in that chip, very similar to a debit card. And then you put in the meter, you wait, it flashes 4 times, and then it'll start counting up the amount of time on your meter. And then you pull the card out. If you wanted to buy 2 hours of time, when it got to 2 hours, you would pull the card out. You go do your business. When you come back, if there's time remaining on the meter, one of the really nice features, you can reinsert your card into that meter and then get a refund for the remaining value for the time left on the meter, which then zeroes it back down.
I'm glad you explained how that worked because it took me a few times to realize I needed to leave it in there. But the cards can be purchased here at City Hall in the main lobby and
Correct.
where else?
We have 2 other locations. They're in our parking garages, one at the 3rd and Court Garage. The office there is over on 2nd Avenue side, just north of Court Avenue. And the other one is the 9th and Locust Garage, and the office is close to the corner of 8th and Grand.
Okay.
We have signs out at the curb that indicate there's a special smart card symbol. There's a sticker on each of the meters that has that feature, and then there's a large sign with that same symbol as to where you can purchase the smart cards.
I love them. They're very convenient because you never have to look for change. You have so many other new technologies, or maybe I'm just noticing them. Most people really notice when you put out the wayfinding signs. How did that idea come about?
Well, it was a combination of things. What drove it initially was we'd known for years that there were some weaknesses in our parking garage signing. There was nothing out perpendicular to the street, so as you're driving down the street, nothing said, here's a city public parking garage that I could park in. It was all on the side of the building. If you got there and started to enter, it would confirm that you got there, but nothing that told you coming there. And we didn't have any way to tell people whether it was full or not. They'd get clear up to the gate, and if the garage was full, they had to sit and wait in line for somebody else to leave so they could enter, or else try to back up and exit. So that started it. We hired a consultant to help us with some of the expertise to put it together, and then put together a system that's got really 3 components. One of it is for traffic to the attractions. We've got a lot of major new attractions downtown.
Yes, we do.
And then there's a pedestrian component, mostly to those attractions. And the 3rd component is to the available public parking, mostly in the city garages.
Okay. Now, there's one sign I think that I see most of the time, which is right here on Grand. So it tells me whether the garage is full or open or closed, but it also tells me which direction to go in for the Civic Center or the Riverwalk or other locations, correct?
Correct.
Is that all part of one system?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Okay.
there's, I believe there are 8 of those signs, the large signs that have the real-time information, and they're around the perimeter, particularly as you come off of I-235 along the north side and come in on 3rd or 5th or 7th
Okay.
or Keogh into the downtown. And then also on the east, west, and south, as you approach the downtown, they give that full or open information. There's additional follow-up signing to help direct you to those garages, and some of those have confirming on the real-time information, and some of them are just directional signs. And then at the entrance of each garage, there's a large sign out by the street that says whether that particular garage is full or open. It's
Now-
been very helpful, especially in special events, the wrestling and basketball tournaments. A lot of out-of-town visitors, really helps them find parking and where parking is available.
I bet the parking garages are really busy in the summer when we have a lot of things going on. What is the daily parking, and is it ever free?
Parking is free in the parking garages on the weekends. We have implemented a new charge for some special events, particularly at the Civic Center, so that parking at 3rd and Court Garage, 4th and Grand, we pre-sell them prior to the event. What we find if we try to issue tickets and then have people pay for their tickets as they exit, it takes too long to exit. So it's a simple $5 fee. You pay it when you go in. It's per vehicle, not per passenger. So $5 gets you kind of like at the state fair or whatever.
Yeah.
You pay one fee. Everybody in the car gets in for that price. And,
Well, that's pretty good in today's market.
And then the rest of the time on Saturday and Sunday, the parking garages are all free.
That's
And
wonderful.
the meters on the street are free after 6 o'clock in the evening, and as well as Saturday and Sunday all day.
Wonderful. Does TNT have any of those digital message boards that you're responsible for?
We do have, actually in the parking system, those big signs at the bottom of 4 of those, there's message board, changeable message boards. We use those during especially the big events that draw parkers in. I mentioned the state tournaments for wrestling and basketball. We also have some trailer mounted ones. We have 4 of those that we can put up and use for a combination of construction projects where roads may be closed. If we have flooding, for example, Fluor Drive, we've used them to help alert people that Fluor Drive is
Yes.
closed ahead and to follow the detour.
Those are very
And use
helpful.
those, yes.
I really like those. They're very helpful. Quickly, I guess we're running out of time. You have so much on your list, and I really want to ask about permits. We have a very large event coming up in September, the Hy-Vee Triathlon, over the Labor Day weekend. Does TNT have a role in something like that?
We do. For events in general, there's a street use team, and we have one of our traffic engineers sits on that team. The Hy-Vee Triathlon in particular is a very big event, and so we get a lot of our staff, several of the traffic engineers, working closely with the police department, with Hy-Vee, with other people in the city to help plan the traffic and what's needed to help make sure that it be safe and people can get around with a minimum amount of disruption. This one is going to cause some disruption to normal traffic on that Sunday morning, but we're trying to minimize that and do as best we can.
Where would people go to get information about the detours and where to park and the best way to get around for the triathlon?
Well, there'll be information that we send out to the media as we get a little closer to the event. I believe in particular south of Grand Avenue, some of the residents there are going to have very limited access out during that morning, and there's some special mailings are going to be sent to those people to help advise.
So keep an ie on your mailbox for that.
Correct.
Okay. All right, I know there's a lot of planning, but I want to quickly jump to a couple of other things. You issue permits. What type of permits do you issue and for what purpose?
Well, we do have a variety, spatial parking permits. If people that move or something have a moving van and they live downtown, they need to be at the parking meters. We could hood some meters and do a permit there. Spatial things out in different parts of the city. So we have those. Areaway permits, kind of unusual, but mostly in the business districts where the buildings are right up to the street right-of-way line. There may be an old coal chute underneath the sidewalk. That would need to be covered by an areaway permit because it's out in the public right-of-way.
Okay.
So there's some things like that. Use of our right-of-way for contractors, a plumber or whatever that has to dig a hole because of the water or sewer connection.
You also do taxi cabs and limousines, right?
We do. We work with the licensing and regulations for the taxi cabs, limousines, as well as the taxi cab drivers.
Okay. Well, how long, I'm going to ask this question, although I know the answer, how long have you been with the City of Des Moines?
Well, I've worked for the city of Des Moines for 32 years.
Whoa.
Prior to that, I worked for the Iowa Department of Transportation for 6 years.
I say that because Gary is going to retire.
Yes,
so
I am.
Congratulations. I mean, I'm getting the people, we're seeing all the people go. You're going to be retiring, so congratulations. And who is going to fill your huge 32-year-plus shoes?
Well, we've hired a young woman who had come to us from the Phoenix area, and she has a good background in traffic engineering, and fortunately we're going to have about 6 months of overlap so I can help work with her and transition into some of the special issues in Des Moines, our parking system, skywalk system, some of the hot button issues that we deal with.
And we didn't even get to talk skywalks because
Right.
you have so much on in your division.
So it's a great opportunity for me to work with her. She's a very engaging young woman, has worked a lot with the public. She was really working on their neighborhood traffic control program where she came from.
Is that Phoenix?
It's the Phoenix area. It's a suburb of Phoenix.
Okay. We have a picture of her. Her name is Jennifer Bohack.
Bohack, yes.
Bohack. And so we want to welcome her to the city of Des Moines. She'll be trying to fill Gary's shoes in a few months.
And she'll do a great job of it.
I'm sure she will. Well, that wraps up this first edition. So up next, we're going to have a city update with news from around city government. Here's Shekinah Young. Stay tuned.
The City of Des Moines has something for everyone. I'm Shekinah Young with Public Information Office, and this is your City Update. For the more relaxed individual, take a relaxing float under the stars and listen to the sounds of the night at Grays Lake's Moon Floats. The next floats are scheduled for August 13th and September 12th. See the Des Moines Parks website at www.dmparks.org for more information. Enjoy fun in the water while you can, because city pools and aquatic centers will soon be closing during the following dates and times. Ashworth, Birdland, Nahas, and Teachout will close Sunday, August 21st. Northwest Pool will remain open August 22nd through the 24th and weekends through Labor Day, September 5th. And don't forget the skateboard park located at the 4 Mile Community Center, 3711 Easton Boulevard. The park is open from sunup to sundown. For the homeowner or just environmentally conscious resident, the City of Des Moines has the Spring Cleanup to Remove Urban Blight program, or commonly called Scrub. This program assists residents in removing unwanted materials from their property. This month's scrub date is Saturday, August 20th at River Place, 2339 Euclid Avenue, from 7 a.m. until 12 noon. Proof of residency is required. Accepted items include trash containers, unwanted furniture, lawnmowers without liquids, televisions, computers, tires, and appliances. All other materials, including yard waste, should be taken to the Metro Waste Authority's Transfer Center at 4198 Delaware Avenue. They are available from 7 a.m. until 1 p.m. Or you can try the Compost Center at 1601 Harriet Avenue. For the residents in Ward 1, represented by Councilmember Haley Grease, I am pleased to announce the Franklin Avenue Library is completed and it has reached the platinum level of Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design certification, commonly called LEED. For residents in Ward 2, represented by Councilmember Bob Mahaffey, the Lower Union Park sewer separation is nearing its completion. This project is located in various streets between East University Avenue and East Euclid Avenue, from East 9th Street to York Street. These improvements are expected to assist in sewer backups in the neighborhoods and removal of storm water from the roads. In Ward 3, represented by Councilmember Christine Hensley, there is lots going on. The Fleur Drive Viaduct has finished one stage of completion, and one lane of north and southbound traffic is now open. The Court Avenue and Water Street sewer separation and stormwater pump construction is still underway. Detour signage is available, and allowing more time for travel is highly encouraged. In Ward 4, represented by Councilmember Brian Meyer, the Dean Lake Storm Sewer Crossing improvements are almost finished. This project includes storm sewer improvements in 4 locations along the Deans Lake Drainage Channel near East 24th Street. Congratulations to the City of Des Moines. As the year continues, the awards keep rolling in. As of this July, Forbes magazine has ranked Des Moines #1 place for young professionals. The City of Des Moines also received a Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting for the Comprehensive Financial Report. It's that time of year again, and if you're looking for anything you want on a stick, there's only one place to get it, the Iowa State Fair. The fair will be here August 11th through the 21st at the State Fairgrounds. It's sure to be a safe, family fun atmosphere, so don't miss it. And Des Moines is home once again to the High V Triathlon. The event begins Saturday, September 4th, and is going to be all over the city. With events at the Simon Estes Amphitheater, Locust Street Bridge, and the Des Moines River, you're sure to catch some of the action. Be on the lookout for your quarterly city source. It's your source to the city. It gives you the scoop on the new dog park, Des Moines being named a bicycle-friendly community, and the reopening of Franklin Avenue Library, and more. Don't forget there are several great programs on DMTV. City Talk with the Chief Communications Officer, Amelia Hamilton Morris, City Spotlight with Mayor Frank County, departmental overviews, and different ways to watch DMTV and stay connected to your local government. Feel free to watch your government at work as well during the following dates and times. City Council will be Monday, August 8th and the 29th at 4:30 p.m. City Council Workshop will be Monday, August 8th and 29th at 7:30 a.m. The Planning and Zoning Commission will meet August 4th and August 8th at 6 p.m. on Thursday. And the Zoning Board of Adjustment will meet Wednesday, August 24th at 1 p.m. We can't forget the Park Board that's going to meet Tuesday, August 23rd at 5 p.m. All of these meetings will take place down at the City Hall at 400 Robert D. Ray Drive. I'm Shekinah Young, and that's your City Update.
Welcome back to City Talk. Summer is peak travel season for many of us, and it is certainly a busy time at the Des Moines International Airport. My guest today is Kevin Foley, Deputy Director for Landside Operations at the airport. He's here to tell us about some of the latest developments at Des Moines International. Welcome to City Talk, Kevin.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Well, the airport has been renovating facilities all over the place. Tell us, how are things changing for our passengers at the terminal and the concourse?
You're right. We have been renovating for the last couple of years, actually, and some of the amenities that have been updated is the concourses have been completely remodeled. They're much brighter, much more modern. We even have had comments from passengers that the new windows look great and we didn't put new windows in. So it is much brighter. And the terminal as well. We're just finishing up with a terminal remodel project and enhancing just the appearance. It was very dated, very dark, and it's much brighter. The floors shine and it looks great. But probably the most noticeable amenity that the passengers will notice is new seating. And we have all new seating in the airport, and the seats have services within the seat that we can plug in our laptops, we can plug in our cell phones and recharge them. So there's charging stations built into the seats, and those have been a big hit.
Yes. Now, wait a minute. Are those free?
They are free. The charging stations are free. We do not charge for the station for the charging.
Oh, that is wonderful, because I have a trip coming up, and that's wonderful. I've seen that in larger airports.
They get used heavily, actually, right now as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I know that the airport also received a federal grant from the Iowa Department of Energy Independence. So what are your plans for making the airport more energy efficient?
That is correct. We did receive a $783,000 grant through the ARRA, which is the American Reinvestment and Recovery Act, and that grant was specifically to update our heating and cooling systems within the terminal. The Main part of the grant and the main part of the project is to replace some 30-year-old boilers, change our heating system from steam to hot water, and then there is a portion of it that's for cooling.
It is wonderful how all parts of this city are becoming more green and sustainable, and so that's really good. Something else new is the Consolidated Rental Car Facility building. Is it up and operating?
The rental car companies take beneficial occupancy August 1. Before I forget, that building is also LEED certified, so that is a green building.
Another green feature.
And quite honestly, everything in that building that we used to be LEED certified just made economic sense. It was not a tough decision at all. But that facility is a service facility for the rental car companies. It consolidates all of our companies into one location. It's a very short trip for them to wash, refuel, and prepare cars that have been returned to re-rent them. And it's a great enhancement for them. It'll make them more efficient. Hopefully that relates to lower rental costs for the customers.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but do you know some of the green features that are in this car rental facility?
I do. Part of it's in just the lighting, the LED lighting, for example, in the lot. But probably one of the more interesting features is that we reclaim and recycle the wash water. And so it gets captured, recycled, and used again through the washing system.
Well, Kevin, the airport is taking a new direction this fall. It will have a newly appointed Des Moines Airport Authority that takes over airport operations. Can you explain to our viewers how the new airport authority will work?
Sure. The airport authority, we just got a board appointed Monday night. The city council appointed the board. So we have a 5-person board. The members are nominated by the city council, vetted by the mayor, and then ultimately approved by the city council. And that's the process to get them on board. But they are basically an autonomous board. The airport is in the process of leasing, or the airport authority is in the process of leasing the property, the airport property, from the city. So the city remains the owner of the property, but we have a 99-year lease proposed to lease that. And then the authority becomes basically an autonomous body in that they control the airport in its entirety.
Will passengers notice anything different in airport operations?
In the short term, no. In the long term, hopefully they will. What this does is make us much more quicker to respond. It makes the airport less bureaucratic, and it provides the airport the ability to function like a business. As I said, we have a number of tenants, and they are in business. And they're in business for profit, and we need to be able to move at the speed of business, just as they do. And it's not that we have done anything wrong in the past at Des Moines, because we haven't, but there just may be a better way of doing it for the airport.
It's kind of evolving,
yes,
so to speak. Okay. What are the advantages to the airport under this new authority? You said that things move a lot faster. Are there any other advantages?
Oh, sure. When I say that they move faster, oftentimes when we have an issue or a project, we may have to take that to our airport board, and because it's not an issue that they have control of or authority for, we then have to wait several weeks and actually take it to the city council. So there can be a 6-week lag in anything that we would want to do. This speeds it up, that once we go to the airport authority board in that meeting, that we have the authority, then it's either denied or approved, and we move forward.
Okay. All right. That's clear and simple. You have something else new this fall, flight by Southwest Airlines.
We have new this fall, starting September 6th, we have AirTran starting to operate. Southwest Airlines is not going to be here this fall.
Okay.
AirTran, Southwest has purchased AirTran, and they're in the process of merging their operating certificates, the certificates issued by the Department of Transportation that allows them to be to function as a commercial carrier. Okay. So until that certificate is merged, we don't have Southwest. We have AirTran. But AirTran's announcement that they are going to start operating with their equipment as opposed to SkyWest equipment is a step forward and a step closer to getting Southwest. And we're hoping that last and final step would be taken sometime in 2012. But there is no guarantee that we will, in fact, land Southwest, absolutely. We hope so. We're doing everything that we can do. But there's no guarantees.
And you know we're all hoping.
Yeah.
Okay, so Southwest merged or purchased AirTran.
Correct.
Will any of the AirTran flights change in any way?
Yes. AirTran is starting to bring in their own equipment. So they're coming in with Boeing 717s, which I believe is a 120-passenger aircraft. Mm-hmm. So it's a larger aircraft than the RJs that have been serving Des Moines. The number of flights will be reduced. We'll go down to 2 flights into Milwaukee daily, but we retain the Orlando flight. So the net result is we have more seats. We do have 1 less flight, but we do have more seats on bigger aircraft. And again, it's a good step. It's a step closer to, in fact, landing Southwest.
Well, we all know we're going to keep our fingers crossed for that. The Des Moines International Airport, of course, has a very popular website. So would you share with our viewers what is that web address and how they can get more information?
www.dsmairport.com, and our phone number is 256-5100.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Kevin. You have a wealth of information, and we're going to keep our fingers crossed on that.
Thank you.
That wraps up this edition of City Talk. I hope you'll join us again here on DMTV, City Cable Channel. Every month, we'll visit a different city department and bring you new information about our community. Today's program can be seen again during the replays on the dates and times listed on your television screen. You can also watch us online. Go to www.dmgov.org and click on Watch Live. DMTV is provided to the City of Des Moines by Mediacom Cable. The channel is in the digital lineup, and you will find us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on digital channels 86 and 97.1. For more information, visit us on the web, www.dmgov.org. I'm Amelia Hamilton Morris. Thank you for watching.